Welcome back to the Draft Ranking Show. It's another Wednesday. It's another day as we get closer to the season. Here is another perfect draft from the 106 in PPR drafts. Over the last couple of weeks, we've done the 101, the 112. We're going to keep on working our way through every single pick in this year's 2025 seasonal drafts. We're doing PPR. And today I'm going to be using the Ultimate Draft cheat sheet from rosterwatch.com. So go check that out while you can. I'm going to pop it up on the screen. We're going to go through a mock draft, quick, 8 minutes, 7 minutes. I'll talk you through it on the podcast, on video. Come over to YouTube and watch it on the Draft Rankings YouTube channel. If you missed it on Monday, I did a show with Matty Kiwum. We're talking about NFL training camp news and nuggets from the weekend and last week. We're going to continue to do that show every single week. That's the plan. Whilst me and him are on vacation this week, we're going to get into more prospects as we get closer to the season and fantasy drafts start to wrap up. But it's the heat of the season. I'll be at a couple of training camps over the course of the next 10 days. So you'll get some videos from that on the channel as well. Let's get into it though. 106 is where we are going to be drafting from. The perfect draft from the 106. All right, so to start this draft off, we see Jamar Chase, Bijan Robinson, Justin Jefferson, Saquon Barkley, and Jahmyr Gibbs. So at the 106, I get options. I get Lamb, McCaffrey, Neighbors, Genty. I don't think you can really go wrong here unless you take Christian McCaffrey with Lamb, Neighbors, or Genty. I trust the Lamb situation. I trust Dallas a little bit more with the overall just output and scoring. I know Neighbors is maybe in line for a ton of targets, but he's already dealt with a shoulder injury this camp, which is on top of the toe that he's been dealing with for a minute. Ashton Genty, I think you could tell yourself a story here, but his ADP is a little bit later. And to be quite frank, there's a Brock Bowers problem on that roster. So I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb here at the 106. Into the end of the first round, I'll read them off to you. After CeeDee Lamb goes, we saw Neighbors, Puka Nacua, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Nico Collins, Derrick Henry, Ashton Genty, Brian Thomas, Christian McCaffrey, Drake London at the 203, Devon Achane 204, A.J. Brown 205, and Tyreek Big Media Hill at the 206. So the 207, our availabilities are Josh Jacobs, Lad McConkey, Brock Bowers, the aforementioned, and Jonathan Taylor. I just said you can't go wrong before. On the cheat sheet, you get an option between Jacobs, McConkey, and Brock Bowers here. I like Jacobs quite a bit. I kind of love Jonathan Taylor. I think these guys are obviously back to back here. Bowers, I can tell you some story. I don't like spending second round draft capital on the tight end, so I'm not going to do that. We got a receiver. To me, it's between Jacobs and Taylor. I'm going to go Jacobs because of similar story with CeeDee Lamb. I think the offense is just more susceptible to scoring points and being successful than it is down there in Indianapolis, unfortunately, because of Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. At the 306, we just saw Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson go off the board. So we're going to go ahead to 306, and we're going to take Garrett Wilson. Alvin Kamara is also here. Devontae Adams, Ken Walker, who's been dealing with injuries. We're going to get Garrett Wilson, so we're going to start this thing out with CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, and Josh Jacobs. Alvin Kamara is going to fall to us at the 407. Before him, we saw Breece Hall go at the 403, James Cook at the 404, Ken Walker at the 406. We're going to take Kamara here at the 407. Now at the 506, we see Chuba Hubbard fall a couple of spots past where we expected. Omarion Hampton's available, James Conner, R.J. Harvey, all these running backs. The last couple of picks in the draft from the 501 was Ted McMillan, Devonta Smith, Joe Mixon, Xavier Worthy, Travis Hunter. I'm not taking Hubbard. I'm taking Omarion Hampton. To me, a perfect draft is I want a guy, I think Chuba Hubbard's going to be good in Carolina, but to me, Omarion Hampton is like the nuts, especially with this pending Najee Harris thing where he doesn't even get a snap. So Omarion Hampton's my guy. We come down to the 607. Pat Mahomes goes right before us. Baker Mayfield goes right before us. TJ Hawkinson, Travion Henderson. We're going to take R.J. Harvey and be our fourth running backs. We're going to start this thing out with Josh Jacobs, Alvin Kamara, Omarion Hampton, R.J. Harvey, two rookies, two vets, and then our receivers are Lamb and Garrett Wilson. And at the 706, Chris Olave falls to us, gives us a little bit of value here at the wide receiver position. That is a epic. I love that trio, Lamb, Wilson, Olave. At the 807, He makes it down to us as well. Deebo Samuel. We got a holdout situation for Terry McLaurin looking to get traded right now. If something were to happen with that, Deebo Samuel is the de facto number one in Washington. I don't know if McLaurin's going to get traded. If he does, it'll probably be for another alpha. Unless he goes to Pittsburgh, guys, it might be for a draft pick. But if he goes to Miami, it'll be for a Tyreek Hill type, something along those lines. I like Deebo, though. Deebo's got, another season to prove. He kind of feels like he's potentially in like a Joe Mixon spot from last year where his old team, was tired of the injuries and tired of maybe the inconsistencies on a daily or a weekly basis. And they ship him off and he goes and he has one great season. And then, whatever happens after that happens. But Deebo in Washington's very interesting here. So we're going to take Deebo. He's one spot ahead of Kupp, a couple spots ahead of Diggs, and a couple more spots ahead of Travis Etienne. So we're going to go ahead and take Deebo Samuel there. Into the ninth round, we see Najee Harris across the board, Zach Charbonnet at the 904. We got a Houston defense going through. I don't understand that at all. So right now our build is 4 receivers and 4 running backs. And the best available on the board for us is Jordan Mason, the running back for the Minnesota Vikings. I've talked about him before. I think he's a candidate for double-digit touchdowns if the opportunity is there for him. So I'm going to go ahead and take Mr. Jordan Mason. Past Jordan Mason, looks like it's Jaden Blue. We got a couple. We can't really reach on Emeka Egbuka. That gives us our 5th. I'm going to take Emeka Egbuka first. These guys are like basically right side by side. We have 4 receivers. We have 5 running backs. I'm taking Egbuka here. Maybe Jaden Blue's going to fall to me at the 10. Jaden Blue falls to 1106. So there we go. So now we have 5 running backs, 5 receivers. Jaden Blue falls. Let's take Jaden Blue. So we have 5 receivers: CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Deebo Samuel, Emeka Egbuka. Running backs: Josh Jacobs, Evan Kamara, Amari Hampton, RJ Harvey, Jordan Mason, Jaden Blue. Quarterback is going to be Dak Prescott here at the 1207. And then we'll get our tight end in the 13th round. And it's going to be Dalton Kincaid. So we got that Dak and CD stack. What more could you ask for than a Dak and CD stack? All right, there is our team. We're going to sim for defense and kicker. Here's our roster. The perfect draft from the 106. Dak Prescott, the quarterback. Josh Jacobs, Alvin Kamara. Receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave. Tight end, Dalton Kincaid. Off the bench, Omari Hampton, rookie from Chargers. RJ Harvey, rookie from Broncos. Jordan Mason, Minnesota Vikings. Split backfield. Jaden Blue, the ever-explosive dart throw from Dallas. Deebo Samuel, wide receiver, Washington. Emeka Egbuka, potentially the number one of the future with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They give us a 92 over on Fantasy Pros. I absolutely love this roster. Please drop a comment below. Let me know what you think of this roster. I think top to bottom, they have us as the number 2 team in this league. Some other guy, I don't know what he's got here, but I think our team's pretty good. I think our team is pretty dialed in here. From the 106, Lamb, Jacobs, Wilson, triple tap running back, Kamara, Hampton, RJ Harvey, then come back with an Olave, Deebo Samuel, Emeka Egbuka in the middle rounds. And then you go and finish out. This has been the trend here, finishing out the draft in round 12 and 13 with that quarterback tight end. You get Dak and Dalton Kincaid. Comment what you think. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Click that like button. Click subscribe. On to the next one.